Good Sunday morning, folks. We will get started here in just a bit. Oh, I just remembered. I have a boat game thing. I got an email. You guys remember boat game? Where did it go? It's not that one. Not Tractor Supply Company. Not Political Potatoes. Stripe, I've closed you 6 times. It's not Stash. Order delivered. Oh, we got that. Yep. Oh, I gotta remember to do that. Gas bills due. Whoa, God. That was a noise. Oh, I still have sound on. Had to get a new Android emulator because my old one quit working with Boat Game, which is horrible. It's terrible. Okay. Where the hell was I? Oh, we have a thing. Excuse me. Starting early, are ya? Glacial Fission Ka 5SVL 45KU. Get out of here. Where the hell's that email? Is it in this one? There it is. I found it. Oh my. Happy birthday to me. You guys can't see it. That's probably good. I'm pushing the boundaries of what I can and can't stream with Gal Guardians right now, I think, anyway. Items found. Yes. Go home. Yep, my daily login thingy. I am back. Collect all of those. 4 universal boulins. That's good news. Means I can limit break a couple boats. Get some oil today. Get some medals of honor today. Get some T1. Oh, I need those. Another upgrade boat. Can't collect that one yet. Oh, more oil. Okay. Homecoming supply pack. Sure. We got so much gold, it's coming out our ears. Not spending gems, though. Jesus Christ. It's 87,000 pop-ups. All right. Submit. Submit a code. Where'd my code go? A note through the firmament. Log in and enjoy the event to get your free UR William D. Porter, a free new skin for Hammond 2, and a free SR Ship Girl from Winter Wishing Well cards. Well, that'd be silly not to. Where's the thing? Like that. But I already have it. This may require more investigation. It's all right. We'll deal with it later. We got stuff to do today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's stream now. There we go. Turn that off. By the way, not that I think you care much, but this browser that I use is WaterFox. It's a fork of Firefox. And the nice people at WaterFox just put out a thing the other day, basically saying, Mozilla, we're very disappointed in you for, you know, going full AI. And it is our commitment to you, our users, to never do such a thing. So I'm okay with that. The less AI in my life, the better. I thought we had a code for that. I'll have to look. Okay. Exit LD player. Do not prompt again. Thank you. All right. Oh, we need this. Maybe we don't need it, but there. Ooh. I've moved it, clearly. Do a little more. I'm probably going to hate it right there, but we'll see. We'll see. I like the orange light. It, you know, does my highlights the best. Okay, so while we got some Chrono Cross music playing, here's what we did last week. There was a lot. It was a very slow work week. I even took an extra day off because of weather. So, Medieval's done. All the Mega Mans are done. Metal Gears, all the Metroids minus Super Metroid are all here. Minecraft, Milon, Monster Party, all the monster games, they're here. So if you want to look at it, that's what's been done. Need one of these. What I have done since then, since that update went out, is Matt can do that while I'm doing this. We need this other thing. Excuse me. All the ends are done. Finished up all the ends yesterday, as well as the 2 Ogre Battle games. But what we need to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is very first thing, we've got 2 new Dragon Quest videos to add. And by the way, I don't know if you saw, Dragon Quest 11 is officially complete. 107 episodes, 135 hours. It's done. And I'm happy about that. It was a very good game. It just went on. But here's the weird thing. It never felt like it was dragging. You know what I mean? It flowed really nice. There was a lot of content. There was a lot of stuff to do. And for me, at least, there were never any moments where it was like, now you're just giving me busy work. No moments like the, speaking of Chrono Cross, no moments like the pirate ship with the ghosts, or the pirate ship with the gambling, or the pirate ship in general. You know, I love Chrono Cross, but that whole sequence, both times, not a fan. First sip of coffee today. I had a gig last night, so I don't, you know, I wasn't out late, but been a minute, you know. Gig season's usually done by September, but I got asked, and it's somebody who started booking me years and years ago. Sold that business, started a new one, and said, we're thinking of doing music again. Would you want to come out? I said, if you want me to, I'm down. I said, yeah, why don't you come out? So I went and played, and they said, we want you to come back a couple times a month. And I said, how about once? I like doing it. I enjoy playing. And this is a great place to play, and they're great people to play for. But they've also had a lot of other people ask, and I don't want to take time. You know, it could go to other people, so. You guys ready for a screenshot? Look at the screenshot. Thumbnail. Oh, look at that armor. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You ready for another one? This one's not as good. This is not as good. Okay. So we need this. You know what I need to do? We're going to do this. After we do these, we'll do this. Copy this. This goes there. Oop. Goes there. 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 Yeah, I've already updated this to match. We'll fill the rest of these in while I'm here. And then this one, questing with the bestin'. A lot of quests in this game. Okay, save that, save that, save that. Get rid of that. 99 is of clothes and horses. 100 is swords of legend. Doesn't have to be capitalized, but I'm getting up. 101. Puff World Tour. Or tour, if you're Kiwi Tapes. He pronounces it tour, like 2-ER. Tour. 3. I'm not proud of it, and I'm not, but wanted to get it done. Alien Space Baby from Space. 105, Being of Light. 106, The End of Time. 107, Time Worm is difficult. Time Worm is the super secret, ultra post secret game, secret boss. And he's very hard. Took me several attempts. Okay, so that's all done. Let's refresh this because I want to do a thing. Actually, reopen that tab. We don't need that. We're gonna trash this. What's this? This is Final Fantasy. What is this? Is this Timber? Martial law. This is what plays in Timber. So to save myself a step, we're gonna copy this. Edit this. I'd play Final Fantasy VIII again. I enjoy Final Fantasy VIII. Paste that there. Save it. Now we don't have to do that every time. Close that, close that. Something else I did is, did I do everybody? I didn't. Okay. So I went and added our episode lists, our playlist, and our review pages to everything. At least in the O's. Not so much in the P's. Nothing in the Q's because we got no Q's. So anything that's got numbers in it already, that's a single episode and it's done. Shadowgate's done, Shaq Fu's done, Sonic Genesis, Star Fox. Sunman's not done. What's the Sunman missing? We get to that later. Today, Okage. So here in my YouTube window, we open up the playlist for Okage Shadow King. We open up these. Copy that while we're waiting. So some of these load times, I've talked about this, I think at least once, that we encounter, and the saving errors. I finally did ask my host, Green Geeks, about this. And they said basically your hosting plan has so much basic, RAM, essentially. It says you're just using all of it. You're 99% on your RAM usage, and that's why that happens. I said, okay, well, if I up my hosting plan, do I get more? I realize I'm more than halfway done with this project, but it would speed things up a little bit. The site might load a little faster. I don't know. And the person I was talking to in sales couldn't really tell me if a better plan would get me better hosting. I'm sure it would. However, because this is shared hosting and the next step up is not shared hosting. But they said, let me have you talk to one of the tech guys. I said, okay. They sent me over to the tech guy. And the tech guy said, you need to run these 9 steps, and then we'll see if that fixes it. And I said, I don't, and I've already got this and this and this. These things you're telling me to do, I'm already doing. I'm doing most of them. But can you just tell me, if I up my plan, will my RAM allotment be greater? I didn't really want to answer that question, which was odd. It was a little strange. Save that. I wanted to look something up here. When I was doing this the other day and adding... Excuse me. What did we add? Oh, Monster Party. Monster Party was developed by the same company that did Kabuki Quantum Fighter. I learned that the other day. And I want to look here. Because ZenorWorks, the only game I'm familiar with ZenorWorks ever doing is this. So while we're here. They did Little Master for the Game Boy in 91. Little Master 2 for the Game Boy in 92. That's Japan only. Anata o Urasani, Japan for the PSP. Spin 6 for the DS. Pokemon card game. Asobakata DS in Japan. Tower of Zarbarts for the iOS. Niakix for the Vita. American Mail for the Vita. That's a Japanese only game. And then the PS4 version of Shadow King here. Look into some of this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. Niakix. It's an action game developed and published by ZenorWorks. Nothing. Little Master Raikuban no Densetsu. Strategy game. Okay. ASCII published it, so I could go either way. Spin 6 is a puzzle game in which you rotate numbered panels to line them up and make them disappear. Okay. I feel like Coolio would know about that. Coolio likes them puzzle games. Like Seventh Guest, which is where this music's from. All right. Anyway. Back to business. We need to get this playlist. So occasionally when I'm out here doing stuff, I will open up this same playlist and just play it because, it's pretty good. And this was on, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And I thought, wow, this sounds so much like Twin Peaks. It's got a very Angelo Baldamati. I think Baldamati is how you say his last name. It's got a very Angelo Baldamati feel to it. I didn't ever notice this before. This is great. We usually make fun of Seventh Guest a little bit because it's so cheesy, but I feel like it's cheesy on purpose. right, so we need to drop 32. 31. Damn, I was guessing. Drop 31 characters off the title. Okay, and now we need to drop fewer from the description. 120. 110. 110 looks good. Did that fix that one? Yes. Sometimes the descriptions are so short, it just cuts them all out, which is not helpful. Get rid of those. And now we add episode titles. We got 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoop. You're that. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. We'll find out. That's Mega Man X3 music. What I would like, and I don't know if this is doable or not, I would like to be able to take what I have over here in Excel and just like that, but have it, you know, do what I want it to do. Because this is almost okay, but it's going to screw up my formatting. So even if I do columns 50-50, just like this, there we go. Paragraph. Paste it. Take the second half. Paste it. That would be faster. I think I tried it once though and I hated it. Let's see what it looks like. That's beautiful. There's the rest of my stuff. It would save me a ton of time. I kind of hate how squished it is, but it's not terrible. Damn. All right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go with it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Move this up to there. That's Final Fantasy. Temple of Chaos. Which is the one that plays at the end of the game. Not the, well, also, I think this is the underwater shrine thing, too. Because it's different. When you go to the Temple of Chaos the first time to fight Garland to save the princess, it's a different song. Different arrangement. Okay. Save our output to ye olde desktop. Oh, you know what? I've been bad about this. I have installed a Linux distro, and I'm trying to remember to ping pong back and forth between them because I want to use it whenever I can, but I don't have any of my streaming stuff set up on that because I haven't been doing it. Because I suck. It's because I turn on the computer and then I walk off to go get coffee or something, and then I come back and I'm already in Windows. I need to talk to Coolio about that. He's done himself a fancy schmancy dual boot thing. We talked about it once, and I downloaded the things, and it asked questions I didn't have the answer to, so I stopped. Because I'm not ambitious like that. Alright, we can get rid of that. Do not save. So while that's doing its thing, the next game we should run into after Okage is Okami, which we streamed that 4 times. And it just, the talking. Oh my god, the talking. So much talking. I might go back to it as just a let's play and pick up where we left off, or I might start it over. I don't know. But we just stopped streaming it because there was so much talking. Like, you play for an hour, because my streams are 2 hours. So I have an hour, a break, and an hour. And there were times, you know, we might play 30 minutes in each of those hours. Just, oh, so slow. Not good streaming, does that make? Because you don't want to make fun of it because it's important. You don't want to ignore it because it's important. And if, you know, I hadn't really played Okami much. I had it on my Wii, but I couldn't do the Wiimote thing because at the time my hand was screwed up, so I couldn't hold the Wiimote. To do the painting, you know, couldn't do it. So I've wanted to go back to it. That's why we started to stream it, and it just doesn't work really well for a stream. So maybe. Should I just do the whole thing? I don't really want to do the whole thing. Just do that. Means I have to go back and edit all the other ones because I want them to match. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. I don't know if you guys know just the absolute headache playing Okage has been in my life. This was a game I believe requested / suggested a long time ago by Ragnats. And this was even before I could emulate PS2 games because my computer at the time just couldn't do it. So I had to buy it. So I had to find it and buy it. It wasn't expensive. But I did kind of stop, you know. I couldn't afford to just every time somebody said, hey, you should play this game, just go buy the game. I couldn't afford that at the time because I was broke. Still broke. I'm just less broke now. So it was a PS2 game running through a couple of adapters to my Easy Cap, which I might still have. Looks like I got rid of it. Basically, it was a thing like this. I know you can't see it. It's really great. RCAs or S-Video in. And the Easy Cap wasn't HDMI out. It was USB out. So this is what I did my first few console Let's Plays with. Something very similar to that. So it looked like crap. It was bad. I think there still might be... Oh, man. There might still be something on this channel that I recorded with that. Anyway. Didn't know a damn thing about the game. Nothing. This is the error thing I talked about. It just didn't look good, right? It looked bad. It was blurry. Interlacing problems, you know, trying to find software to work with the hardware and then settings, and, you know. It was hard to Let's Play a million years ago, 20 years ago, whenever we all started. Just because there weren't a lot of options for screen capture. There weren't a lot of options for direct-in video capture for, you know, that market. You could go out and spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on all of this other equipment, you know, DaVinci Resolve kind of money. But, you know, 20-something years old sitting in a bedroom, and I don't have that kind of money. So, you know, you cut corners where you could. That's those old hypercam, unregistered hypercam things, or video with the big old watermark on it right in the middle, right? So, some people, I was one of them, spent an inordinate amount of time just downloading every bit of software, trying this, trying that, every format. You know, should I do this as an AVI, a WMV, a MOV, an MPEG? What's going to look best? What's going to do this? What's going to have, excuse me, because it wasn't just what's going to look the best. Processing power for stuff like that, you know, I mean, any of the computers I had, because I was doing this on a laptop back then, which was a terrible idea. But that's what I had. So you had to I had to find a way, you have to find a way to record that's not going to suck up so much processor power that you can't play the game, but also give you good enough output, but also, you know, you don't want to do, like, Fraps was great, but because Fraps was lossless, you know, it just would burn through your hard drive space if you didn't have a very big hard drive. And at the time, I didn't have a big hard drive, as I said, I was using a laptop. You didn't want to do an external, because those were kind of garbage. Did you save? I don't know. You saved. You saved. I don't know if you're saved. Anyway. All other things aside, ladies and gentlemen. It was not a joyful experience. It was fun when it finally worked. But then there were even situations where, you know, everything had looked good. Everything, the gameplay went great. The session went great. And then you edit the video, whatever, you export it, encode it, whatever. Maybe not even. I think there were times where I was like, you know, we don't edit. We just do 10 minutes and you upload it and whatever. Excuse me. So what you end up with is mostly garbage. Mostly garbage. But you might upload it and it might get goofed up in the post encoding once you uploaded it, and then your video would go all to hell. So you had to not only juggle all those other things, you had to find a format that you could upload it in that wouldn't get turned into a garbled mess once YouTube got a hold of it. I said it was just it was an adventure. A lot of time experimenting with stuff. And then now you just download OBS, you click a couple things, you hit record, you're good. You download Fraps. Fraps is still a viable option. Bandicam, you know, and hardware. I just bought a new internal capture card for doing Switch games, and I still got a couple Wii games to do and all that. But even then, it's just install it, OBS it, same settings as everything else, you're done. It's so much easier now. And microphones are so much more accessible. That was the thing when I started, I think. I think that was the thing that set me off ahead of some people a little bit. I wasn't necessarily better at talking or being entertaining or playing the games. But, you know, there were one half of the people had those little stick mics, you know, the white ones that had the little bass. It was just a stick that had a little bend in the top. We're using those, people using those, and those are great. Oh man, are those wonderful. That's why we use them all today. And then, you know, another large chunk of the people, excuse me, had the headphones with the mic, And some of those were all right. I know there's still people who use those today. I think Scarlett might. I don't remember. For sure. But I think so. Could be wrong. Scarlett, if you see this and I'm wrong, correct me. But me, I had all this stuff. I had mixers and microphones because I was out, musicking, but I couldn't music because my hand was screwed up. So I just sat around in my little apartment, my crummy little apartment that nearly killed me, and played video games. And emulation was not a new thing at the time. But I thought, I've got all this time. I should go back and play all these games that I never finished. And one of those games that I really liked that I never finished was Legacy of the Wizard. So I started playing it. And I thought, man, I'm a little stuck. Maybe there's a video on YouTube about how to do this specific thing. And that's where I found Let's Plays, because Deceased Crab was doing Legacy of the Wizard. So I watched him, and I thought, oh, you know what? I could do this. I think I could do this. It'll give me something to do. If I'm going to be playing games, may as well record them and talk over them. Maybe I've got some insight that would be interesting to people. Boy, was I wrong. Anyway. So I did that, but I can even show you. I can show you the microphones I was using, because I still have them. They were Nady SP9s. And I could show you almost exactly what that setup would have been like back then. We can even hook it up. Let's do that. I know I'm distracted, but the medication's wearing off. Hold on. I have returned. Did you miss me? So this is it. This is a Nady SP9. You might notice mine has a blue piece of electrical tape on it. At the time, I was out performing and also doing sound. And quickest and easiest way to differentiate your equipment from somebody else's, colored electrical tape. So this is going to be a little different because I've got an interface now. And what I used to do is just go out of the line out on my mixer. Oh, somebody over the Twitch machine. I used to just line out from my mixer into the auxiliary input on my my computer. Let's take care of this guy. How do you spell? Submit report. Block this user. Lean in manual ban. Yeah, so it's not going to be all that different. But this is, I had a little, I might still have that too. It'll be in another drawer. I got a little USB to Super Nintendo controller adapter. That's what I used. Okay, putting away this one, gonna move to this one. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. There we go. There we go. So this is a dynamic mic. And is more used for broadcast, podcasting kind of stuff. I don't love dynamic mics. I don't love how they sound. And I don't love that I've got to boost the gain on them so much to get everything out of them. And they're very noisy. And it is fine. It did the job. This was as bad as this sounds now compared to what my audio usually is. This was, oh my God, great. 15, 16, 17 years ago when I started doing this. I prefer a condenser mic, which is what the other one is. We'll go back to that in a minute. But so on my mixer, the condenser mic, I've got the pre-gain at 12 o'clock. I've got the post-gain at 12 o'clock. And I've got the output at 12 o'clock. And then I do all the final volume adjustment with my interface, which is a Volt 276 from Universal Audio, I believe. And it's at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the output on that. This pre-gain is up to 75%. Post-gain is up to 75%. I don't love them. And this one doesn't have a built-in pop filter, so all those plosives and all that breath noise. That's what you get with a dynamic mic. Now, the windscreen that is built into these 80s isn't great, but at the time, one Shure SM58 or Beta 58 was $100. One of these was $35. So you could buy 3 of these for what one Shure would cost you. Now, AB these don't sound all that different. And you'd spend $3, you put a pop filter on it. This kind of thing, but obviously not, because this goes on a pencil mic like this. We can listen to this one if you want. And then you're good to go, right? So this was okay. This is a new mic I just bought. This is a dynamic mic. This is the Aston Stealth, and it's not working. It showed up broken, and I can't get the seller to respond, and I can't get Aston to respond to me about it. So I might just have to take it apart and try and fix it. Anyway. Dynamic mics don't do loud very well. You'd think with a name like Dynamic, they probably would. But they really just kind of oversaturate when you get right up on them. And plus all the, noise. They have a smaller sphere of influence, but it's a more expressive sphere of influence, which is why they're great for singing and things like that. I use both a dynamic and a condenser. I used a condenser at my gig last night for the first time. It was great. Anyway, I'm going to swap this out for this little pencil mic.
Hold on.
Check. Test 1, 2. There we go. So this is a Nady CM90. This is considered a pencil mic by some people, but what it is, it's a condenser mic. And because it is built the way it is built, it is very kind of deader on the sides, It's designed to pick up directly in front. So stuff like this is actually pretty good if you're doing some voiceover stuff. I also dropped the pre-gain and the post-gain back to 12 o'clock, so not near as much juice here. But what you would do is something like this. You don't want it this way. You don't want it pointing up at you, because if it is, when you breathe out your nose, it's going to go right into the microphone. Like that. So this would usually be something that you'd have like this up above, and then you can talk into it. It's out of your way, but you point it directly at your face, and then it captures more what's directly in front of it. This is a good mic. I've got this. I think I've got 2 or 3. No, I have one of these. Samson makes one that's very comparable that I've got a bunch of. And then I've got a bunch of Stags. Stag made one like this. It's a phenomenal microphone. And now back over here to the Aston. This is the Aston Origin, same Aston as this one, the Stealth. And it looks kind of goofy, but it's a great microphone. This is another condenser, larger sphere of influence than the dynamic, but handles loud noises better. This one, well, you get closer and you don't have the breakup that you do on the dynamic. And the plosives are better on this one because this has this really interesting, I don't understand. It's like a metal wire pop filter built inside this little shock cage. It's bizarre, but I love this microphone. This is one of my favorites. I was using that Lewitt forever, and I swapped back to this one just, to do something different, and I just love how this mic sounds. The Lewitt is the one I ended up taking with me to the gig last night. Okay, back to work. Quit distracting me. Got stuff to do. We haven't even finished the first game yet. Anyway, now you know about microphones. And that when I started doing Let's Plays, I think it's the microphones more than anything that really... we make fun of our good friend, patron saint of streaming, Phil. We make fun of Phil quite a bit. And Phil was streaming. Phil was Let's Playing at the same time I was. But Phil didn't take the time to figure out screen capture, and Phil didn't take the time to figure out his audio, so he just used a camcorder, pointed it at his TV, and would just yell. I mean, he had to be so loud to get picked up over the TV. I remember there's some clips of his old condo in Connecticut when he started doing this, and like his neighbors would bang on the wall and tell him to shut up because he was being too loud. I've never had that problem, thank God, because I did a couple long time ago, kind of little gag videos because it was funny. Where I would get just the worst webcam and the worst mic and audio settings. And I would play a game like Super Mario World or something. And I would stack some books up and put the webcam on it, but it would kind of be crooked. So you're looking at the screen, but it's not centered and it's not straight, And just the worst audio quality. And, I was like, this is what it used to be like. People yelled, people screamed. I never got into that. Never understood the attraction to that. Fake rage, Excuse me. There's a lot of fake rage videos back then. I do not remember this song.
Shadows fall from up the city walls. The hours crawl slow until it's time.
I don't like it.
To sling back to
I mean, I liked it. That's why it's in the playlist, but I do not remember this in the game. We didn't spend a lot of time with Backbone. It went pretty quick. There's Okage done. Since this is saved, go back here, close that, open that. Kame is next. If I edit this right away, I don't forget. What I used to do, I've got a little whiteboard right here, and I used to write them down. And then every week when we do the thing, I'd be like, okay, we added these 5 games. And it'd always screw up the timing on these. These are set to go live. Dikiomber. How I missed that. So like they're supposed to go out every Sunday, but here's the problem. That's the first day of the week is a Monday. That screws me up. So I was picking Monday, and that was wrong. So I had to remember to fix this. So Sunday morning, this goes up on the website and the Discord. So if you want to see what's been added without digging through the site. I'm just trying to, be helpful. Oh, have I told you guys on our Sunday morning website streams, have I told you guys about the Patreon? I don't know if I have. Let me do that real quickly. So, for a long, long time, I was streaming on Twitch, and I only streamed on Twitch. Just because I didn't like streaming on YouTube, and I was mad at YouTube, and, YouTube was annoying, and I really don't like how they stream anyway, and blah, 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 blah. Many reasons, most of them bad. So, I started not too long ago. Oops, like that. Streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick all at the same time. And I don't have any kind of membership situation on YouTube and Kick yet. Maybe someday I will. Right now I do not. And if I don't, I don't. It's totally fine. But since I have people who watch on YouTube who aren't on Twitch, and I somehow have a couple of followers now on Kick, which I don't... Okay. You guys make your own decisions. I can't help you there. I wanted to have a way for people who were not on Twitch to get involved with picking games and things like that. So, I'll do it again. So what I did, excuse me, is I started a Patreon. I had one forever ago, but I started a new one, and here's how it works. Used to be, if you were a Twitch subscriber, follower, member, subscribe, I don't remember, whichever one's correct. There's so many different titles, phrases for the same thing across all these platforms. If you were subscribed to me on Twitch, I ain't right at all. What the hell did I do? Get rid of these. Copy these. Anyway, if you were, there we go. If you were subscribing to me on Twitch, you were able to, when we would have a viewer's choice stream, you could, submit games, put games into the hat, as it were, and then when we pulled games out of the hat to have a vote, it's pretty much every game in that was either something a subscriber picked or randomly out of a list kind of a thing. Like if we didn't have enough to do the thing, I would take some from, forever ago that had made it into a potential, and I would just throw one in there. Because I like to have like 4. I think 4 games is good. I need to... That's too many. 38? 38 okay? Yeah, 38 is fine. Alright. The hell was I talking about? Oh, don't worry, I remember. So I wanted a way for people who were not subscribed on Twitch to be able to do the same thing. So it was like YouTube memberships, but I don't have access to that yet. And then there's whatever Kick has, and I don't have access to that yet. And I want it to be open to everybody, regardless of platform. So what I've done is this Patreon. Twitch memberships, $5 a month. I think YouTube is something like that. I know you can set it to different levels, but I think the default is either 5 or 3, and I don't know what Kick is. Honest, no idea. I know very little about the way Kick works. So this Patreon, $3 a month gets you what a Twitch subscription would get you. And there's like, wait, but I'm paying more money for that. Well, stop paying for it then. Move over to the Patreon thing. No, because I know there are some people who use their Prime to get the Twitch membership thing. And if you do, totally fine. You'll still get the thing. Just let me know, right? Let me know who you are and I'll make sure you're covered. But for $3 a month on Patreon, you get to put games into the viewer's choice thing. I just spit coffee. One problem with the mustache is it retains. It retains things. So $3 a month. I know, I repeat myself because I keep distracting myself. $3 a month, you get to do that, right? So if you're doing it if you're paying out of pocket on Twitch and you don't want to do that, or you want to save yourself $2, jump over to the Patreon thing. Totally fine. I don't care. Really don't care. Just so long as you're getting the perk. I don't care. For $5 though, fives of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. What you'll get is you'll get to do that, but you get early access to Let's Plays. And here is what I have for you right now. So it's just Jason's Groove Machine, patreon.com, Jason's Groove Machine. Oh no, it's a Coolio. Watch out. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was talking about you earlier. It was all good stuff. So anyway, Patreon thing, real quick. Coolio interrupted me. It was my fault this time. So if you sign up for the $5 thing, January 1st, here's a Let's Play of Harmony of Dissonance. And then there will be a new one every month that will go up on Patreon at least a month or two early before it goes to YouTube. That's how that's going to work. I found a puzzle game, Coolio, and I didn't know if you'd played it. I'm going to have to look up what it was. Because I was doing a thing. What was I looking up? Okage, Shadow King, Zener Works. Spin 6. Spin 6 for the DS. Spin 6 is a puzzle game in which you rotate numbered panels to line them up and make them disappear. The real challenge lies in your ability to create chains of uninterrupted changing or elimination of panels and to connect many chains to score big points. Yeah? Doesn't that sound puzzly? We added Okage. I'm like, what else did Zenerworks do? And not a whole lot, but I found that. That sounds like something Coolio might know. Because he likes them puzzle games, I said. He's got a working brain and everything. Okay, what are we doing? We're making pages. Making pages. So I need to come over here. I need to export this. It's output. Yes, I want some more audio. Because I like this song. Earthbound has good music. Well, none of us are working like we were 15 years ago, pal. I can track my AI rankings. Oh, God. Can you imagine an AI learning off of stuff I've done? Terrible. Here's the problem with AI, ladies and gentlemen. It's a toy, not a tool. This is number one. It's a toy, not a tool. People use it as a tool. It's a toy. Number two, we've gone from, we have a computer. We want it to act and think like people. So we just went to people. We didn't say, let's see if it can be a dog first. Let's see if it can be a pigeon first. Let's see if it can be a reticulated python first. We just said, nope, it's going to be a person. People don't people. You can teach a computer how to people? It's a terrible idea. It's horrible. Now look, I've used it, but I don't use it as a tool. You know what I mean? Like, here's an example. This right here, that's an AI thing. I went to the thing and I said, give me an image that does this. And it did. This avatar, same thing. That's it. Oh, I saw a thing on Blue Sky yesterday. What was it? It was AI artists. And I put that in heavy air quotes. So heavy that they wouldn't even float in the air. Getting upset that people were copying their work. But they weren't copying the work, they were copying the prompt. And they're like, you need to get out and be creative and make your own stuff instead of copying my prompts. It's like they've almost got it. They're so close. But they'll never get it. It just won't happen. Speaking of Okage, by the way, this game had good music. AI is a tool if you're a tool. Ha! That's funny. I think the problem is AI isn't ready to be used as the kind of tool people are using it for, like prescribing medicine, writing legal opinions, deciding what to do with grandma. I'm still not 100% convinced that it's figured out the answer to the age-old question. So I have some criteria with people in my life. Like, if I'm going to work with this person, I ask them a series of questions. And depending on their answer, I will or I will not work with these people. We won't get into that right now. But here is the metric I use for an AI thing. Dear Mr. AI large language model chatbot, Mr. or Mrs., forgive me. Which gender will the first female president of the United States be? And the very nice large language model AI chatbot thinks about it for a minute and says, there is no gender-based restriction for who will or will not be president, or who can and cannot be president. And I say, yes, but which gender will the first female president be? And it can't answer the question. It's more Okage music. Now, I'm sure it's been fiddled with and fixed by now, but here's the other problem with AI chatbots. And this is a glaring problem over at the Nazi bar, aka Twitter. You can just say, well, AI, yes, but this is the kind of answers we want you to give. So, you know, like I said, Elon can just tweak his AI bot to make it give answers that he approves, right or wrong. See, that's a problem. That's a problem. So it's not, I guess it's not the AI that's the issue, it's the people steering it more so. But, you know, it's never going to get better. It's never going to get better. Even if you get to the point where, like, we're just going to stop using this one and it gets regulated to, you know, the shadowy, cobwebby corners of the internet, you know. 8chan will have its own LMM thing one day. There will be people who just, this is gospel truth, you know what I'm saying? People is the problem, man, everywhere you go. Old Man's Journey is next. So we want I have so many windows open right now. This one. Rid of that. Come over here. Oh. I should create a large language model chatbot to put on the website, and when you ask it a question, it just gives you lyrics to Michael Bolton songs. I think that's a good use of my time. Ask Michael Bolton. Oh, even better. Even better. We just build a thing that, and we call it an AI, but it's not really an AI. It's a Hamsar random quote generator. That's the way to go. Give me that. I think we got it figured out. Man, Tome has nice music. I think I say that every time. But Tome's just got really nice music. It's so good. Is Tome 2? Do we have a date on that yet? So many games in my wish list. Oh, Silksong's on sale. I mean, Silksong wasn't expensive to begin with, but yeah, see, Coolio gets it. Darksiders 3 is on sale for $4. Overcooked is on sale for $1.69. I don't even know what that is. Okay, a couch co-op cooking game. Oh god, that means you have to have friends. I don't have any of those. It's Comic Zone. I would like to hear the music for Comic Zone with Super Nintendo sound fonts. I think it would be better. I'm familiar with that term, Vampire Survivors. Is that, what do you call it? Is it like a little grinder kind of thing where you just wander around and you get swarmed and then you level up and then you die? I think. Toem 2 coming out in 2026. Wolfhound, TBA. Faerun, Fragment Islands, TBA. Mariachi Legends, finally, Q2 of 2026. Nirvana Noir coming soon. Their games on sale, and I want to buy the games, but I was told by like 3 people, don't buy anything off your Steam wish list. They're right there. I want them. I don't even know why I've got Dark Souls 3 on there. I'm not going to play the first one all the way through the second one, probably. Anyway, cool. It's weirdly amusing. I have people say that about me all the time. I think I've played something very similar to that. What the hell game was this? Old Man's Journey. There's like a million clones of it, right? Because it's probably not a complicated game to program, I wouldn't. But then, you know, I figure out how to get a formula working in Excel, and I think I'm, you know, a programming god. Look, you can do sums and divide by 3. I've created a spreadsheet with compounding interest. Bow before me, peasants. That's true. Oh, you know what it is? You know what it's reminding me of? It just popped into my head. And I don't know why it reminds me of this, because it is not the same kind of game at all. Oh, we need to do that Wuxia Saga stream. And remember to do that. The hell? What the hell's it called? It's the vampire-y. Not that. You know, sharing your Steam family with people is a really nice way to get together and play video games. But then you see some of these games these people you've shared it with get, and, you know, they scratch their head about me just as much as I do about them. Like, Monster Girl Island Prologue. That's 100% me. I was not expecting what I got out of that. Monster Prom 1, 2, and 3, though, somebody else picked those. And I don't know. I need to go here. What is this game called, Coolio? Help me. Help me. The one I'm thinking of. You know, it's got the thing, and then you spin around. Is it this one? Okay, so the game that I had in my head when you were talking about the vampire one is not like that at all. It's much more of a Diablo kind of thing. And I hate to use these words because I know you hate them, but it is a roguelike game. But it actually kind of is, so. It's called None Holy, and it was in a... I don't remember if it was in a Humble or just on, like, it's on sale for 40 cents. I have a lot of games in that library just because they were on sale for next to nothing. None Holy. Why am I even going? This is not how I need to do this. This is only 2 episodes. Distracted again. God damn it. Alright, that's enough out of you. I can only take so much Little Mermaid. You know what? It's gonna screw up the thing if I do it that way. I have that open? I do have that open. Alright, you go away. Now that I finished recording Dragon Quest XI, it is the end of December. I think I started that game in August, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. I need to start on another longer Let's Play, and it might end up being Batten Kaitos Origins. But I need to finish... I think I've talked about this, so I don't mind saying it out loud, because, you know, who cares? Now that I've got a Switch, I'm doing some other games. Some older games. Excuse me. 20 enough? 20 is not enough. Whoa. That's way too many. So I need to finish an N64 game. Because when I do Batten Kaitos Origins, I'm not going to do the Switch version or the PC version. Ended up with both. Because, ladies and gentlemen, oops. The Switch version and the PC version, while they are HD remasters, and I'm all about those, it would be a lot easier to record. But what I'm saying is the GameCube version has English voice acting in it. And the English voice acting, unlike Batten Kaitos, Eternal Wings, and the Lost Ocean, is actually really, really good. But they didn't put it in the HD remakes. So I'm going to play the Wii version because the English voice acting is so really good. And there's some jokes that I really don't know if they would translate over well to the Japanese version. So maybe we'll do that. But I need to finish recording GoldenEye first. I'm recording GoldenEye. I wanted to do GoldenEye forever. And like talked about earlier, setting up consoles with the old stuff, just a pain in the butt, and it always looked bad. Well, you can do it on Switch now, and it looks pretty good. But here's the problem that I ran into. And I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't think I am, because this thing exists. It's very difficult to play an N64 game on a controller like this. It's very hard. It doesn't have enough places to not put your hands. So I got one of these. This is official Nintendo Switch thing. And my God, it's so much better. It's so, I don't understand. Would highly recommend, if you want one of those, get one. There's some versions on Amazon. I didn't get those. They were like $10 less than the official Nintendo one. And the official Nintendo one actually worked. A lot of the reviews for the Amazon one said these don't work with the Switch. They're more, just wireless PC controllers. So don't get one. But night and day is so much better. The thumbstick is really, really touchy. And I don't know if the thumbsticks were always really, really touchy. And we played our N64 so much that we just wore them out. So they weren't touchy anymore or not. But it's very touchy. Worth the purchase, though. Absolutely worth the purchase. I couldn't get my head around how am I supposed to play this game with not that controller. It doesn't work. Okay. Old Man's Journey is done. That is our third game for the day. That means we have 2 more games. That means I can go have breakfast. I like breakfast. I like food. Food's always there for me.
And it's like,
Wah!
you need to get a life, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Scarlett. How you doing, buddy? Good old Cobra. Scares me when a dead guy starts talking in my headphones. You'd think I'd be accustomed to it. We were talking about you earlier, too. I just talk about everybody. What was it? Said something about Scarlett. You're in a... Oh, your microphone. I'm good, man. I'm good. So, we were talking about microphones. I've been all over the place today with this stream. Do you or do you not have a headset with a microphone on it? Oh, God, Omicron. Omicron. See? I told you guys he did. Told you. I was sure you did. We were just talking about different microphones, and I had a bunch out, so we kind of A-B'd them, talking about Let's Playing a million years ago, and everybody had those stick mics, and they sounded terrible, and I didn't. That's the only reason I made a name for myself. At least in my mind. Omicron. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Omicron. Just thinking about it, just... Ugh. I do not like that game. I thought, this will be great. It's a video game. David Bowie, what could go wrong? Omicron. Internet Jesus David Bowie. Internet Jesus David Bowie. There's another game I have on Steam that's roughly from the same time, and I don't even want to play it anymore because of this. I'm terrified. Developed by Quantic Dream, published by Eidos Interactive, released 1999, space year. It's part of the Omicron franchise, which has this game, and then the canceled Omicron 2 for the PS3. Not much of a franchise. Quantic Dream, what else did you guys do? Omicron, Indigo Prophecy, I've heard of that. Heavy Rain? Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human. What happened? How do you go from Omicron? How do you go from Internet Jesus David Bowie to... Wow. That is a turnaround, ladies and gentlemen. I can see now why after Indigo Prophecy and Heavy Rain, you're like, remember that Omicron thing? Let's just forget that ever happened. Beyond Two Souls, Sea of Solitude, Under the Waves, Lisfanga, the Time Shift Warrior, Dustborn. Dustborn is one of the characters you play as in a Dark Souls game, isn't it? I mean, Omicron, I understand it's the peak of video game entertainment. But they're making a Star Wars game? I think I've heard of a couple of these. Under the Waves is a narrative-driven adventure game about the engulfing power of grief. Set in the depths of the North Sea in a techno-futuristic 1970s, the techno-future past, a professional diver Stan, not diver, Stan, so he's a diver Stan, is struggling to overcome a life-changing loss and embrace a new future. The isolation of the deep sea is a fitting manifestation of his state of mind, and as Stan retreads further into his self-imposed solitude, he starts to, I think that might be retreats he meant? He starts to experience strange events far beneath the waves. He will eventually have to make a difficult choice, stay lost in the depths forever, or break free to the surface and to the rest of his life. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. Quantic Dream developed Omicron. Quantic Dream published Under the Waves. That was developed by Parallel Studio. Indigo Prophecy was developed by Quantic Dream. Heavy Rain, Quantic Dream. Beyond Two Souls, Quantic Dream. Detroit Become Human, developed by Quantic Dream. Sea of Solitude, published by Quantic Dream. So somewhere they switched from a development company to a publishing company, looks like. Okay, sorry. Oh my God. Turn my head for 1 minute, and this is what happens. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, all of those things from 30 years ago. Like Lawnmower Man 2, getting on the internet. Remember when you had to download the internet and you could fly? Say, this sounds like Turrican. It is Turrican. Speaking of techno futures, Turrican. This was the music from the factory level. And everything fits except the piano. but it's still good. All right, Internet Jesus, David Bowie. Get out of here. What's that game? I played a game, and it was just such an obvious Turrican ripoff. I don't remember what it was. There's a video about it on my YouTubes. Super Tura Soldier can of beans. I don't know. No, why did you do that? That text. Paste that. Put the equal sign back in, right? Yes. Sometimes when I do these playlist exports, the video will start with an equal sign, and then Excel doesn't know what to do about it. You've tried to divide by 0, you fool. 35, 36. How are we over here on the descriptions? That looks fine. We played Omicron for 15 episodes. Oof. Don't do that. Come back. Go back there. All right, 15. What is that divided by half? 8. Export this. Save as. Yes, tap. Output. Yep. Bling. You're done. You're done. Over here. El Pagery. That one. Even create. Everybody happy? Green. Green is good. We like green. Green means everything's fine. Don't even have to know how to read. Super Universal Turrican Soldier. That's what it's called. There's a game called Universal Soldier for the Super Nintendo that is a ripoff of Turrican for the Commodore 64. And then Super Turrican came out a year after Universal Soldier. And then there's Turrican 2 for the Amiga and Mega Turrican for the Mega Drive. Super Turrican came out on the NES in 92, and then Super Turrican on the Super Nintendo in 93. And then there's going to be a Turrican 3D that THQ was working on for Windows and the Dreamcast, but that was canceled. Tornado is a spin-off that was going to be on the N64 and GameCube, but it was canceled. But then they used parts of Tornado to make Star Wars Rebel Strike. There's going to be a next-gen Turrican thing, but the people who made the Turrican thing closed up in 2007. So Turrican came out in 90, and then Universal Soldier came out and ripped it off, and then all the other Turrican games came out. But somehow Universal Soldier, which came out before the other Turrican games, has things in it that were in those games, but not in the first game. Very strange. You start going down these weird rabbit holes, and then you just never know where you end up. Like, if you look up the Film Ventures distribution company, Mystery Science Theater did a lot of movies by Film Ventures that Film Ventures had distributed. And if you look at the history of Film Ventures, it is insane. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, speaking of Mystery Science Theater, I just found out on the TCM Remembers, because TCM does one of those every year for all the people who worked in movies who died. Joe Don Baker died. Joe Don Baker was in 2 Mystery Science Theater movies. One of them, Mitchell. Oh boy, Mitchell was a movie. And the other one, Last Justice, Final Justice, I think. He's a cop, but he's a cowboy, and he has to go to Italy and not be a cowboy, but he can't help it. It's a bad movie. Joe Don Baker is a decent actor who just ended up in a lot of bad movies. Joe Don Baker died so Joel could live. Yeah. And get in a fight with Jim about the show. Of course I've watched Samurai Cop. Who hasn't watched Samurai Cop? Better question is, have you seen Kung Fury? Kung Fury is made bad on purpose, I'm sure. Because it's not very good. Oh, did you ever watch that motivational growth movie I told you about? You need to watch that. Julio, you need to watch it too. Everybody needs to watch it. You'll live and laugh and love at living again. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it. Motivational growth. It can't be bad in it if it's got Jeffrey Combs in it. Jeffrey Combs is great. Accurate. I believe motivational growth is on Tubi. I think that's where I watched it. Tubi is great. Thank God for Tubi. I found so many bad movies and so many good movies. I found some really good movies on Tubi. And movies I thought were terrible at first, then I keep going back to watch them again. Like A Field in England. I watched it and it was over and I thought, what the hell just happened? And then I watched it again like 2 or 3 days later and I thought, oh no, this is really good. I was just confused. Pardon me. That's the plague. Tubi has some incredibly bad movies. Movies that I wasn't able to get through. Bad movies. And that's difficult. I will sit through a bad movie if it's entertaining. But if it's bad and boring, I can't do it. I believe this is more Turrican music. Super Turrican had really good music. Those are like space chords. Like I'd hear that in StarCraft. Mixing a little Jingle Bells. This is the Christmas song. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this if you're paying attention. You're probably not paying attention, and I wouldn't blame you. Every episode of Internet Jesus David Bowie here is titled after a David Bowie song. Because I'm cool like that. Showing off my knowledge. David Bowie songs in such a way that, you know, I cannot prove that I just knew these off the top of my head. A total nerd. And not one of them, well, I was going to say not one of them from Labyrinth, but Dance Magic Dance is on there. Because that's where we got magic. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the saddest song ever in either of the Chrono games. in the saddest scene ever in any of the Chrono games.